Hey, are you guys a fan of the Aaron Cohen Show? Do me a favor. Join my Season 1 sponsorship team and help support my show. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. They start at $25 and it helps keep the lights on in the studio and allows me to keep combating that garbage anti-Israel misinformation while bringing you guys cutting-edge analysis of the Middle East, counterterrorism, Israeli special operations, and U.S. national security. Join my Season 1 sponsorship team and help support the Aaron Cohen Show. Appreciate you guys. Tonight, I'm diving into a growing U.S. national security crisis here in America, domestic terrorism. In just 2 days, we've witnessed two devastating attacks, a truck ramming in New Orleans and a Tesla Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas. Innocent lives lost, families shattered, and these weren't random tragedies. These were catastrophic failures of our counterterrorism system. The system is broken, and what we're doing isn't working. Too much DEI, not enough action, and not enough focus. Last night, I joined Sean Hannity's show on Fox News to discuss these failures, and the conversation has been going viral. Why is that? Because I called out something that no one else is willing to say. The FBI doesn't have a counterterrorism problem. It has a focus problem, and a big part of that is the misplaced priorities driven by these garbage nonsense DEI initiatives. Now, I'm not saying diversity doesn't matter, but when it comes to counterterrorism and national security and protecting American lives, there's no room for distractions. Lives are at stake. And Tammy, the co-host, asked me directly, how did this happen? And I broke it all down. Let me show you what I said.
A magazine that used to exist where you could have instructions that go out to a variety of people. Does this sound like perhaps the kind of things that would make terrorist attacks work in this new year?
Well, Tammy, it appears to have worked here. And the fact that a lone wolf terrorist who's clearly connected to ISIS was able to, 2 weeks after the Magdeburg car ramming terror attack, take a vehicle, drive it through a giant New Year's event in New Orleans on Bourbon Street and run down and kill 15 people with a stolen AR type of weapon. I believe it was a .308 and a stolen Glock, leads me to believe here that we have multi-failures in our counter-terrorist capabilities. And I want to point at what Nicole said. There's a serious DEI problem, clearly, that hasn't just affected the Secret Service. It's affected the FBI as well, because nobody got in front of this terror attack. 2, is no intelligence sharing. 3, where were the bollards? I think now is the time to point our finger, because we have a serious problem in this country where an individual can go rogue, become radicalized, and nobody in the federal government knows anything about this guy. Yeah. Nobody knew that he had stolen weapons, and nobody knew that he was on his way to go commit an act of terror. So that's a multi-failure terror attack. Yeah. And we need to start getting in front of these. We need to start being proactive, and it's time to stop messing around, because those are real humans who were killed. Those are real stories. Yeah, we need to get in front of these again. This is the reality of what we're dealing with. A system that prioritizes bureaucracy over results. The same failures that I laid out on Hannity's show are exactly what allowed the New Orleans and Las Vegas attacks to happen. Now I want to dive into the details of these attacks and what went wrong. So let's start with the New Orleans attack. On New Year's Eve, a man identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar drove a truck displaying an ISIS flag, yes, an ISIS flag, into a crowd on Bourbon Street, killing 15 and injuring 35 people. Among those victims was a 25-year-old gentleman by the name of Daniel, who was celebrating New Year's Eve with his friends. His family's future shattered in an instant because of the failures we couldn't prevent. Now let's look at the Tesla Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas. A Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas, killing the driver and injuring 7 others. That one's still ongoing. It's not 100% that these two are connected, but in the counterterrorism world, we assume that they are and then work backwards from there. So you've got 2 attacks
Same pattern. Individuals radicalized at home using readily available resources to target crowded areas. Super low tech. Both were preventable tragedies and both reveal the same critical flaws in our current counterterrorism system. Are you guys a fan of Israeli special operations? Were you blown away by that incredible pager operation? Grab a signed copy of my best-selling memoir, Brotherhood of Warriors, and go behind the magic of how we train for and conduct special operations in Israel. It's a memoir of my time as one of the first Americans to serve in one of Israel's top special missions unit, the elite Mistarhavim. This is the counter-terror unit that dresses as Arabs, speaks Arabic, goes undercover, mannerisms, behavior, infiltrates terror neighborhoods to stop terrorists dead in their tracks. Hit the link down in the description. Got a limited number of signed copies. Trust me, you want to read this book. Grab a signed copy today. So, Aaron, what's the solution? And like I always say, I don't just sit here and stand on my soapbox and spout off problems. We're about solutions here on the Aaron Cohen Show. We need a dedicated domestic counterterrorism unit. This isn't about tweaking the existing system. It's about building something new, purpose-driven, singularly focused on protecting Americans from the threats that we're facing today. Here we go. Let me break it down and tell you what this would look like. 1, this would be mission-focused leadership. So unlike the FBI, this unit wouldn't juggle competing priorities. Its leadership would come from experts in counterterrorism operations, intelligence gathering, and cyber defense. No more career bureaucrats. No more of these frickin' lawyers. Gone. The mission would be singular: detect, disrupt, and prevent domestic terrorism. And this means moving beyond a reactive approach. It's not enough to catch attackers after the act. Hats off to the first responders who put down those threats, but this unit would be designed to anticipate threats and neutralize them before they become a reality. 2, advanced intelligence capabilities. The backbone of this unit would be its strategic intelligence division. I'm talking about a cutting-edge team specializing in digital surveillance. That would be monitoring online platforms, encrypted communications, dark web activities to identify potential threats. Also, AI threat prediction, leveraging advanced algorithms to detect patterns of behavior that indicate planning stages of attacks, such as specific travel patterns, financial transactions, and social media activity. Cyber defense and counter offense. That means protecting critical infrastructure while actively disrupting terrorist networks online. Next, social media intel, flagging extremist propaganda and recruitment campaigns, and working with the top tech platforms to take them down in real time. We've got the capabilities. We just need to reorganize this thing. And imagine this. A radical individual posts a blueprint for an attack on an encrypted forum. The Strategic Intelligence Division picks it up, cross-references the user's activity across multiple platforms, and coordinates with that local law enforcement agency to prevent and thwart the attack. Boom! Gotcha. This is about prevention at the source. Next, I want to talk about the infrastructure security unit that I want to build into this thing. The next critical piece is the infrastructure security unit portion. Think about it this way. A specialized team that would focus on identifying vulnerabilities in public spaces like the New Orleans Bourbon Street or that Las Vegas Strip, and then recommending practical solutions or testing the existing solutions to make sure that they work and they're functional, such as bollards or surveillance systems, crowd flow management, and just to reduce risk to all those soft targets. And then training those local agencies to make sure that all those measures work effectively. It's simple but critical. Physical barriers and smarter security planning save lives. And these are solutions that would have been in place before these recent attacks. 4, let's talk about regional integration. To scale for the size of the U.S., this unit, in my vision, would have to operate through regional hubs, each with embedded liaisons in local law enforcement agencies. And these hubs would ensure real-time intel sharing. It's all about that intelligence. It moves quick, and that's how you stop these attacks. And then rapid coordination during those threats as they're emerging. And then localized training to equip those officers with the skills they need to be able to respond to these high-threat situations. The really, really no-nonsense training. So this one here is about bridging the gap between the federal resources and local expertise. You know, no more silos. No more cracks for threats to slip through like we just saw on Bourbon Street, we just saw in front of the Trump Hotel. This next piece is important. I want to talk about the operational oversight and accountability. Some of you are going to ask, how do we make sure that this doesn't turn into another bloated bureaucracy? Or at least that's the question I'd be asking if someone was coming to me with this idea. And so that's where the accountability comes in. And this unit would be subject, in my vision, to a very strict oversight system, which would be an independent review board composed of counterterrorism experts, legal scholars, and bipartisan representatives who would actually audit its operations. Transparent reporting requirements would ensure that the unit remains focused and effective without infringing on civil liberties. It's very important. And so we're not talking about creating a surveillance state here. So here's the bottom line. The attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas were completely preventable. These tragedies aren't just failures of individuals. They're failures of a system that isn't built to meet the threats that we're facing today. We don't need to fix a broken system. We need to build a better one. Dedicated domestic counterterrorism unit can stop these attacks before they can happen. It's not a theory. This here's a necessity. I'm going to come back to this story as it continues to develop. If this episode resonated with you, let me know what you think. I want to hear your point of view. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of my idea. Is this type of unit something that we should be developing and building and standing up here in the United States? I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Stay informed, stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay safe. Remember, this one isn't just about policy. It's about saving lives, our neighbors, families, communities. And this show, as always, I'm always pushing for real solutions. It's not just talk here. This is about protecting our country and ensuring a safer United States. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Until the next time, I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching The Aaron Cohen Show, and I will catch you soon on the next one.